Shelter Mortgage, flexibility, professionalism, and service. Let us custom build a mortgage for you.
Hello, Prudential sales executives, for our video message of the week. All right, this week's message has to do with something that I know most all of you have dealt with, and that is open houses. But I want to break through some thought processes today. In fact, today's message is entitled, How to Have a Productive Open House 100% of the Time. That's right, you heard it here, 100% of the time. All right, let's get started. First of all, before we start any type of project, we want to have clear aspects in our mind of why we're doing this. What is our intention here? And I want to share some intentions here that are very, very important. First of all, in doing an open house, I want you to be thinking about, well, I want to list more homes for sale and I want to sell more homes to buyers. Very clear. And sometimes we don't connect to that enough. All right, so list and sell more homes. But there's another aspect about it. You want to not only list and sell more homes now, you want to meet more motivated sellers and more motivated buyers. Now there's a big difference there because one deals in the short-term aspects of it and the other deals with that in meeting and building those relationships. They may not need me today, but guess what? They may need me tomorrow, okay? Or a year from now. And I want to build those relationships. That ties into growing your sphere. So when you're planning to do an open house, I want it in your mind that I not only want the instant gratification of building my business today, but we want that long-term aspect of it, okay, that I'm also building my sphere. And last but not least, on this intention, your thought processes, I want you to be thinking about that I need to impress the neighborhood. I want to impress the people that I interact with at this open house and or meet through the process of my open house to say, you know what? You rock. All right. And it's somebody that they would want to do business with in the future. Now, there is a challenge that I see happens with an open house. And here's what the challenge is. We sometimes feel that the main aspect of an open house is when we actually sit the open house. Be it that you're going to sit 3 or 4 hours on a weekend or whatever the case may be. Okay? That's just not the case. In fact, sitting the open house is simply following through on a commitment that you made to a seller. All right? And which is very, very important. But I don't want you to look at that as the only opportunity. Of course we want people to come through the open house. That's a beautiful thing. But remember, I want you to have 100% success. So the key with this is canvassing that neighborhood in numerous different ways based on what you want to do 2 weeks prior to the open house. Be it that you decide you want to knock doors, you want to call, you want to walk the neighborhood and meet everyone and personally invite them to this open house. That gives you that next level opportunity to say, you know what, even if they don't actually have time or they're not available to stop by the open house, I've built that rapport. And I've also got to impress upon them who I am and what we're really doing to help whatever 502 Smith Street sell their property. So if they're ever thinking about it in the future, you can help them as well. All right? Now, keep in mind, following through with that seller is important, but we're trying to maximize your results here. Next, keep in mind, and I've mentioned this before, is choosing a productive neighborhood. I want it to be in your mind that when you're choosing an open house, you know I'm choosing this for a reason. Ties into my business plan as we've talked about, ties into the price range that I want, and it's a productive neighborhood. All right. Now this is really key. Please do some homework prior to the open house. In fact, prior to canvassing the neighborhood. What I mean by homework is when you meet me, be it in the house because I walked through or because you knocked my door, whatever the case may be, know the market. I'm going to throw questions at you and I want to have a conversation about my world, where I live, and make sure you're in tune. Do your homework prior. So as they're talking about their neighborhood and the real estate that affects their world, you can have that conversation, an aggressive conversation, a passionate conversation along those lines. Right? And last but not least, don't forget, offer value when you meet them. And what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about OSA, Online Seller Advantage, as well as being a VIP on your website. These are things that you can offer them real value. Access to the MLS, and also opportunity to know everything from a real estate aspect that's going on in their neighborhood. Open houses can be productive if people come through or not. If you use, that open house as an opportunity with the right intentions to build your business short-term and long-term. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.